One life to live. It was my senior quote in my yearbook. And I look back at that time in my life, and I was a drug addict. I was living for the weekend. I was all about partying, how I felt, avoiding trauma that I had been dealing with. And that was all my life was about. And so, one life to live back then, what it meant was, hey, might as well have the best time you can today because who knows if we'll be here tomorrow. The funny thing is that rings true today. I still believe in one life to live, but what I look at, the way I see it, the way I frame it is entirely different. You see, in the past 13 years, I've been sober for those 13 years. I worked at rehab during that time. I went to college, graduated, got married, started a business, was a health and fitness coach for 10 years. I do sales professionally. I have 2 kids. I've gone through a lot of stuff in that time and moved different states, been different places. And I still believe one life to live, but I look at it differently today. The truth is, we only have one life to live. When I wrote that quote in my high school yearbook, I was half the age I am now. And so as I look back on life and I look at where I am today and what I understand and know, the reality is wherever our attention goes, it determines our future. And we only have one life to live. So where we put our attention is going to lead towards whatever quality of life we have. Attention is a resource. It's like water, gasoline, food. It's something that we only have so much of. And whenever we start to place it in certain places, that starts to change how we look at the world, how we behave, and how we make decisions. Those things cascade into where we can get to in the future. Whenever we talk about what short form media, marketing, content, all this type of stuff, these things we absorb, but there's a lot of subconscious things going on. There's a lot of behavioral psychology, a lot of influence that's occurring. And if we don't admit that that's true, then those things are going to get us a certain place because we're passively utilizing them. We're just taking in, and then we get the result of average. And the truth is, here's the deal, guys. Average in America is in debt, depressed, and overweight. So if you just passively take in different types of inputs and allow that to influence where your attention goes and what type of future you have, that's what you're going to get. And we don't want to do that. You only have one life to live. You only have one life existence on this planet. Time is going to march on. We're all going to be gone at some point. All the people around you, they're going to be gone at some point. We have no clue what's going to happen. And so where our attention goes directly leads to our quality of life, because wherever we give our attention, that influences how we make decisions, how we behave, and how we interact in our environment. And so I want to encourage you, take the time to actually audit where your attention is going. There's a lot of power behind things like marketing where people are watching the data, they're crunching the numbers, they're learning really well how to influence behavior. So really pay attention to where you're letting those sources influence you and how it's going to affect where you go for the rest of your life. Another big one is the school system. The school system is designed for you to think about right and wrong, and there's one right way. In life, there's a lot more gray area than that. There's a lot more variability than just this or that method to do a math equation or a writing assignment or an evaluation of literature or science. There's so much to it. And science at the end of the day is about a discovery process. It's not concrete. It's evolving every day as people go and research and understand more about science. It grows. It comes from a position of questioning. It's not a black, white, right, wrong thing. And so the school, what they want is to create a certain system of thinking of compliance. Like, are you complying with the right way? Well, you go to college. Well, why do you go to college? Because it's the right thing to do. And you try to pick the right thing, the right career, the right major, but you get out and there's no system where you just hop in. And then what happens? Well, you get frustrated because you're not getting the results you thought, or you thought it was going to be this cool thing and you're just going to keep getting more of what you got. But there's more to the world than that. It's an open environment. There's a lot more than just getting into a system. And so people get out of school, out of college, and they're in debt, and they're like, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, part of that is where you put your attention, what you passively allowed to decide what your future looked like. It led you in, or you're getting the results you got because of where your attention was previously. That's how this thing works. That's how the economy of attention works. Whatever we pay attention to, it is going to influence us both consciously, but even more important, subconsciously. A lot of people think when they're just scrolling on social media that they're just looking at it, but it's influencing us. Whenever we're reading certain things, listening to certain conversations, going to certain environments, and the people who get to the end of their life and actually look back and say, man, I'm really glad that I did that. I'm really glad I did those things and lived that type of life. They were intentional. They were very focused on where they paid their attention. Like, where are you investing your attention? And it's funny, I'm making this video, but if you're paying attention, I appreciate it because I want you to really evaluate where are you going, what are you paying attention to, What's that going to lead to? And are you happy with that? So I appreciate you guys on this fine Friday. I'll see you later.